My name's Dominic Littlewood. And in this series, my team and I are putting Britain's tradesmen to the test. We've secretly rigged houses with hidden cameras to catch some of our dodgiest rogues back to rights. And we're also helping some of their victims put their lives back on track.
But before we get him in, our expert Paul Naylor is checking the roof for problems. Paul has been a member of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors for 22 years and is often called upon in court as an expert witness in cases of professional negligence.
So a normal survey would start at the top, so we look at the chimney.
Paul's conclusion is that the roof is in good nick for a property of this age, providing one easy fix is carried out. Taking the ridge tiles, those are the tiles at the top of the roof, completely off, then adding a layer of cement and then relaying them. This is known as rebedding. Paul and I will be watching the footage back in this garage once they've left.
Right, here he is.
Steve Connolly, the boss of Approved Roofing and Building Limited, is better known as Steve to his friends and his victims.
Hiya. Hi.
Alright.
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, go on. Is there any actual problems with it?
I've just bought it, see. From the outside, what do you think?
The ridge tiles, they haven't been taken off and rebedded.
Yeah.
What the bedding does, that stops the ridges blowing off.
Yeah.
If you just put points in at the sides, it does nothing.
A dodgy roofing company might just stick a bit of cement around the sides of the ridge tiles to make it look like they've been rebedded, but our Steve's not going to do that.
It does nothing. Absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
So he's definitely saying the right things at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. Rebedding is you take the tile off, the ridge tile off, and then put down about 4 or 5 inches of big, good, thick mortar bed, and then put the tile on, and that's going to last you 10, 20, 30 years.
Is there a bit of a loft ladder, or...?
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't really know, you see.
There's an insulation in it, but there's daylight everywhere.
If she would have gone up those ladders and had a look now, she would see there's no daylight at all.
Steve's assessment is over, and his conclusion is that the whole roof needs replacing.
So it will need a re-roof, you think?
If you're going to stay here...
I'm going to be moving in with my kids.
Because you're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then once it's done, it's a lifetime guarantee.
My professional opinion, that roof's good for another 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
New roof, he's talking about £3,500.
Yeah, OK. I can see why he wants the job then.
Yeah.
OK, thank you so much. Cheers.
Just an hour after Steve Connolly left, he sent through this email, telling us that for a new roof, we've got to pay £3,450 plus VAT, which will cost that homeowner over £4,000. Our expert from the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors said that is completely unnecessary.
George Lister.
With this so-called council recommendation and respected FMB and Trustmark logos, it's easy to see how people could be sucked in. But despite what builders tell you, homeowners should always do their research and speak to as many references as possible. Back in Lancashire, we've called in Approved Roofing and Building Limited to do us a lower quote. With their reputation, we weren't stupid enough to hand over more than £4 to Steve Connolly to completely replace a decent enough roof.
And then once it's done, it's a lifetime guarantee.
A couple of days later, he got back to us with a quote which included rebedding the ridge tiles and repointing the chimney stacks.
£840 plus VAT. What do you think of that?
Well, that sounds about right, especially when he's got down here that, you know, you're going to get scaffolded the site, it's going to be fully guaranteed.
All right, well, let's see what he does then, because that's what he's quoted.
With the new quote agreed, Steve Connolly arrives on time and he's brought along Chris, one of his workmen. Let's see what they get up to up there.
Nice and early.
But they're not off to a good start.
Well, look at this, he's caught it with the ladder. That's not good, that's an aluminium ladder, so it could be electrocuted there.
Oh, Bennett.
Luckily, it's a telephone wire. But to see what other dangerous activities they get up to, our undercover homeowner comes out for a closer look.
Oh, good Lord.
Suddenly, things get a whole lot more serious as Steve's workman Chris makes his ascent.
That's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
So that's the weight, his weight, and the ladders in the gutter.
It's making me cringe. You can see the tops wobbling
Yeah,
around.
yeah. That hook's designed to go on the ridge, not the bottom supported by the... He's jumping it.
Good Lord.
Yeah, a lot of weight up there now.
I'll tell you what's worrying me at the moment. Where's the scaffolding?
If it's up to 20 minutes, you're allowed to get away with a ladder, but after that, it should be scaffolded.
24% of deaths in the construction industry are from falling from height. And if Chris carries on like this, he could become another statistic. Our death-defying roofer is getting stuck in without the aid of a safety net or the scaffolding we've paid for.
It's having a break.
Oh,
Charming. Look at that.
look at his boss, yeah.
What protection's he got if he falls down there now?
Yeah. Without safety net, without scaffolding, without harnesses. It's crazy, isn't it? This roofing job is turning into a circus act as Chris moves on to work on the ridge tiles. But the act starts to turn sour when we notice what he's actually doing. When Steve gave that first quote, he said he was going to take those tiles off and rebed them, didn't he?
Yeah. Look, he's just flicking it off and sending it down the slates.
Not only is this incredibly dangerous, they're not doing the job Connolly quoted for. He promised to lift the tiles off, apply fresh mortar and set them back in position.
What he's done is just chipped it off and gone over it.
The edges?
Yeah, just around the edges with sand and cement mortar.
How long will that last?
One good frost, maybe 6 months.
Sad thing is, from a homeowner's point of view, if they look at that from down the street, it looks like the job's been done.
Yeah.
After 4 hours, the job's finished, so Steve makes a rare appearance to check on the work. But he's certainly not risking his neck by getting up on that roof. Happy with what he sees, it's time to pick up his paycheck.
I'll leave you the guarantee, the invoice.
Is that a lifetime guarantee, did you
That'll
say?
never need doing again.
Let's just have a little rewind now.
Yeah.
If you just put points in at the sides, it does nothing. Absolutely pointless.
Does nothing.
Yeah, well, that's just what he's done. Nothing.
The ridges are sound, the roof's sound. Nobody has to go on that roof, ever.
Right.
What gets me is, right at the beginning, he said he needs a complete new roof to sort the problem out 100%. Then he goes down to the fact that actually you could just rebed the ridge tiles, do a bit of tonsing up. And what he's actually done is none of the above. He's just patched it up and it probably won't last how long?
Well, a season, if that.
If anyone goes on it, then obviously they're pissing about with my job.
He doesn't want anyone else on the roof apart from him.
Wonder why that is.
That's for you and your daughter, a key ring each.
Oh, thank you very much.
What did he give her?
He gave her a key ring each. I feel all right about him now. The whole job set our homeowner back £840 plus VAT.
That's 1,000 in it, because you got 1,000. I'm not bothered about the 8. You know what I mean? Get a bottle of wine or something.
Bottoms up, Steve Connolly. How very generous of you.
Cheers, mate.
In Lancashire, we're about to assess what Approved Roofing and Building Limited got up to on our roof. Steve Connolly charged us £1,000 to rebed the ridge tiles. Time for Surveyor Paul Naylor and I to see what we got for our money. Look at all the debris there in the gutter.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's blocking the downspout there as well, you can see it.
What about these ridge tiles? Now, we do know that he hasn't bed them down, he's just repointed them, hasn't he? From the ground, we could tell that the work was bad. But from up here, it's given us a whole new perspective. And in this case, a whole new hole. And there's the proof of the pudding.
Yeah, that's awful. I mean, rain's just going to pour through there.
I'll tell you what, if there wasn't a problem there before, there certainly is now.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, that's bad. So, what have we got for our money? Well, we've got a bodged job up there. We have a so-called guarantee that looks like it's been printed out on someone's PC, and we've got a rather nice key ring saying Approved Roofing. Should say Avoid Roofing.